we can begin the questioning. Let me first also say thank you to the Reverend Dr. Easley and the Union Baptist Church for hosting us and partnering with us. We also have a plethora of partners tonight, and we will go over them later when our president, Sheila Wilson Duke, comes and welcomes everyone. Accordingly, I will have my co-chair, Kimberly Malone, begin with our emergency response statement.
Good evening, everyone. Kimberly Malone. I am also the president of the Baldwin Civic Association, and as the partner for that, I welcome you as well. On behalf of Nassau Alumni Chapter Emergency Response Team, please remember that whether in person or virtual, we must always be ready. Please identify 2 exits available to you in this location should you have to evacuate quickly in case of an emergency. All exits are clearly marked. Enjoy the program.
I was doing my best rendition of a stewardess. Okay, all right. Now let's get serious. Just so you know, we also have a voter's guide available for everyone. That guide also allows you to check your voter registration and lookup. So you can make sure that you are registered and know where your poll places, your poll location will be. I will now call Reverend McCrae from the Second Baptist Church to open us up with a word of prayer.
Grace and peace. Shall we pray? Gracious God, our Father, we thank you for this opportunity. We thank you and we love you tonight. We thank you, O God, for the privilege that you afford us to come to the throne of grace to obtain mercy. God, we thank you, God, for this undeserved privilege that you allowed us to gather in this space and place for this occasion. We thank you, dear God, for this opportunity to meet our candidates. And we pray, God, and we certainly invoke your presence. We pray for our time that we have to share tonight, that it'll be a time for edification and information. God, we thank you for Pastor Easley and the Union Church for opening their doors. And now, God, have your way. We love you and we give you praise. Thank you again for this time that we have for fellowship and information. In the name of Jesus, let everybody say amen.
Thank you for that good prayer to get us started. You could be anywhere tonight, but you're here with us. And accordingly, we will have a welcome, because it's not really a welcome at Union Baptist Church unless the Reverend Dr. Easley gets us started and sets the intention for the evening.
Praise the Lord, everybody. It is indeed an honor and a privilege and pleasure for us to open up the doors of the Union Baptist Church for this wonderful and most important occasion on tonight. It is an election season, and we are living in some strange times. We're living in some strange times. And tonight is really not about a two-party system. We want to know what are they going to do for our community. Amen. And so we are here to hear. We are here to listen. The Union Baptist Church has stood on the front lines for over 100 years in our community, and we don't mind lifting our voices for that which we believe is right for the lives of our people and for the cause of humanity, justice, and equality. And so if there's ever been a time that we need good leaders, it's now. Amen? If there's ever been a time that we need good leaders, it is now. And so I am eager and thrilled to have this opportunity, as with all of you in what Dr. King would call the beloved community, to come tonight and certainly to hear. I also want you to know this is streaming live, so we do ask that you would also share it. Also tonight, we want to say to you, we welcome you here. We are so glad that you are here tonight, but please take your potato chip bags out of here when you leave. Amen, to God. But we are happy to have you. God bless you, and you know the doors of Union are always open. God bless you.
Good evening. My name is Barbara Powell. I am the president of the Hempstead branch of the NAACP. I'd like to welcome you to Meet the Candidates Night. And thank you all for joining us this evening. Whether you're here in person or tuning in online, your presence speaks to the importance of civic engagement and our shared commitment to shaping the future for our community. Tonight, we're honored to host the candidates who are vying to step up to serve. These individuals have dedicated their time, their energy, and ideas to the public, and this forum is a vital opportunity to hear directly from them about their values, their visions, and how they plan to represent us. This event is not a debate, but a dialogue. Our goal is to foster respectful, informative conversations that help voters make informed decisions. We encourage thoughtful questions, open minds, and above all, a spirit of collaboration and community. Remember, democracy works best when we all take part in it. So thank you for being here, for staying informed, and for showing up. Enjoy.
And now our moderators for the evening will introduce themselves and set the tone and get us started.
Good evening. We're in a house of worship. Good evening. That's a little bit more like it. Hello there, everyone, and good evening, and welcome to tonight's Nassau County Meet the Candidates Forum. Today, it's hosted by the Nassau Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Union Baptist Church, and our partners, the Second Baptist Church, Lakeview, Hempstead chapters of the NAACP, Black Voters of Long Island, and the men of Eta Theta Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. You know, we got to give the first fraternity a little due. Theta Iota Omega chapter, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, the first sorority. Sigma Beta Beta chapter, Omega Psi Phi fraternity. National Panhellenic Council, Nassau Suffolk County's Baldwin Civic Association. Black Voters of Long Island Cross County Section, NCNW, and Voter Education 365. My name is Deborah Peyton Jones.
I am Sanji Ann Roseborough. Good evening.
And we will be serving as your moderators for this evening. We're proud to bring our community together to hear directly from the candidates. It's important that we know a little bit more about each of you. You're running for county executive, county legislator, town supervisors. Tonight's forum is nonpartisan. I repeat, tonight's event is nonpartisan for all of you 501c3s out there. And our goal is simple: to inform, to engage, to empower voters across Nassau County. We thank our community partners, volunteers, and all of you, the residents that are out here today, for participating. Democracy works best when everybody participates and when everyone's voice is heard. We're going to go over a little bit of the format of tonight so we'll all be on the same page. Tonight's forum will work like this. Each candidate will have 2 to 3 minutes for your opening statement. We will then move into a question and answer segment. Each candidate will have 1 to 2 minutes. 1 to 2 minutes. 1 to 2 minutes to respond to each question they are asked. After that, the candidates will have 1 minute closing statement. Simple, right? Since you know why you're here. Our questions come from the community members and partner organizations. They reflect the priorities and challenges facing residents across Nassau County, including issues such as affordable housing, Nassau affordable housing, environmental quality, equity in contracting, small business development, public safety, education, and fiscal management. We ask that each candidate focus on their vision and solutions and refrain from directly addressing their opponents, and refrain refrain from directly addressing their opponents. Additionally, we ask that our audience remain respectful, as I know you will, refraining from commentary while the candidates are speaking. Volunteers will be distributing index cards and pens to collect questions from each of you. If you have a question, think of it, and there'll be a card coming around for you to write that question down. Our community is diverse and dynamic, so are each of our viewpoints. Let's model what civic dialogue should look like: thoughtful, respectful, and rooted in our shared commitment to making Nassau County stronger for everyone. Candidates, introductions. We're going to begin with opening statements. We're going to start with our supervisor, Town of Hempstead Supervisors. We're going to ask Joseph Keith Schiablo. Did I say your name correctly? He said he says it different every day, so that means I said it correctly. You're very welcome. Have a seat. You want all the supervisors? No. You guys said that you wanted those first, and then you said the comptrollers.
Yes, so we're going to ask them to, because people are on a tight schedule.
Okay,
we're
I'll
gonna
do it.
try to
I got you.
Yeah. We're going to try to get
Okay. We're going to, just so you know, since, this is a live mic, so I know you heard us anyway. We're going to ask those that are on a tight schedule that we knew prior to your arrival to come up to the stage. Those would be our Town of Hempstead Supervisors, Joseph, who's there. I do not see your opponent. the Honorable, Elaine Phillips. You're very welcome. Wayne H. Wink. You're very welcome. Do you have any others that are? The Honorable Florida A&M University graduate, Dorothy Gooseby. I wore my pen for you. We went to the same university. Jean-Baptiste. Write down who else did you say? Okay, we'll get both 5th District. We will have the Honorable Olena Nix. You can clap, it's okay. Give them a little bit of energy going up on the stage. Mr. Moisha E. Hill. And we're going to stop there for now. Thank you. And remember, you'll each get how many minutes? Thank you. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you your 2 minutes, and then we're going to ask you your question, and then we'll move to the next person. How do you feel about that? Everyone ready? Would you like a sip of water? So the question that we have for you after you give us your 2 minutes, we'll tell you what that question is after your 2 minutes. Your 2 minutes start now.
Ooh.
Timekeeper.
I just want to first say I'm humbly honored to be here to introduce myself as a candidate running to be the next supervisor of the town of Hempstead on a Democratic ticket. My name is Joseph Shinabalo, and I stand here before you as a United States Marine combat veteran, as a retired New York City domestic violence police officer, as well as a former prosecutor from the Queens District Attorney's Office specializing in domestic violence crimes. But I'm also a former Girl Scout troop leader, soccer coach, softball coach, And I volunteer with various organizations, domestic violence advocacy groups. I am still part of the Sapienza Human Compassion Project, where we go around and we help train first responders around the country on red flag issues with all survivors, victims, and children of domestic violence. So it's something I'm passionate about. It's a mission of mine to continue this work, even when I'm in office. But look, I think it's important to note, I am running on a Democratic ticket. But when I was leading Marines in the battlefields of al-Nazariya, Iraq, in 2003, nobody ever stopped and asked me, hey, are you a Republican or a Democrat? They just knew I was there to get the job done. And when I was fighting crime in the streets of New York and helping women, children, and survivors of domestic violence, nobody said, wait, stop. Are you a Republican or a Democrat? They just knew I was there to help. And when I was in a courtroom fighting for justice for survivors, women, children of domestic violence, nobody asked me, hey, wait, Republican or Democrat first. No, they just knew I was there to help. So look, as your next town supervisor, we're gonna put the partisan stuff aside, and we're gonna get the work done for the people, all the people, not just the political insiders, but all the people of the town of Hempstead. And that's why I'm running, to serve all the people of the town of Hempstead. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. Are you ready for your question? Sounds like all of you guys were born ready. How will you improve collaboration between town governments and faith-based or community organizations to deliver local services?
Well, first of all, I am going to go straight to Pastor Easley, and we are going to talk, and we're going to make sure that we continue this partnership. But look, I think it's important to stay engaged with the Council of the Clergy, to make sure that we regularly check in, and to make sure that the town is partnering in the right way, especially as it pertains to our youth and our seniors in the community. We need to make sure that the town is providing the resources that they need and that we can be helpful to the faith-based community in that way. But we're going to partner with all the community leaders and all the faith leaders and continuously maintain contact with the Council of the Clergy.
Thank you, and you were within time. We're going to move. No, he's not going to close yet. You want him to close? That's like, okay. So we're going to move along, and the next question will be for our Nassau County Comptrollers.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to start with the Honorable Elaine Phillips.
Thank you. So good evening. Thank you to all the sponsors tonight. Thank you, Reverend Easley. It's great to be back in Union Baptist Church. So I am the Nassau County Controller, and I look at each and every one of you, and I say thank you. Thank you for the honor of representing the people of Nassau County. I also want to tell you, because we got some good sororities, I am the first woman to be elected Nassau County Controller. I am proud to say that I have been endorsed by every law enforcement agency, every labor union, and remember, I'm a Republican. Labor union, Republican, that's pretty good. And CSEA, and I say CSEA last because in 2 minutes, I am not going to tell you all the accomplishments that we have done. But I say we for a reason. You know, it's not me, it's the people around me. And I am so proud to have the CSEA union as the people that work in the controller's department. So who am I? Penn State or undergrad, MBA in finance, 25 years on Wall Street, mayor of my village for 5 years, New York State senator, thought I was retired. They pulled me back 4 years ago. And I'll repeat, I'm honored to serve. We have made Nassau County in the best financial position it's ever been, ever. And that's not me, thank you. That's not me saying that. That is our state controller. Those are our bond rating agencies. Really? Oh my gosh, that's too quick. Anyway, God bless you and thank you.
You can stay there and we'll give you your question. But you said it wasn't enough time. So, Elaine, the Honorable Elaine, no disrespect. The Comptroller's Office serves as the county's independent watchdog. I'll make sure you can. The Comptroller's Office serves as the county's independent watchdog. How will you ensure transparent, accessible reporting of Nassau County's finances to the public?
Thank you. So first, in our reporting, financial reporting, we are the only county in New York State to get the GFOA, which is a governing body's Triple Crown Award. So once again, thanks to my accounting employees. We have done audits. Our Consumer Affairs Department, our DPW Department, our Department of Social Services, Petty Cash. We have done audits, and we have made Nassau County more efficient. Our MWBEs, just so we get into what you want to hear, we have increased our registration of MWBEs by 120%. We have changed our discretionary spending, so now we take our money, our taxpayer money, and we put it right back into local businesses. 53% of our discretionary spending is now spent locally. If you're a business out there, you register with Nassau County, we can spend up to $15,000 a year. Muffins, you name it, we can do it. So, yes, we have made Nassau County more efficient. We have made sure in our consumer affairs, it used to be backlogged by 6,000. Now, if you're a nail salon, a contractor, you need a license, you go in, you get your license, you do your business. When it comes to paying 140,000 claims go through. Beaumont Jefferson, stand up. My deputy controller, and he oversees this. 140,000 claims. 4 years ago, it took 3.5 months to get paid.
Time.
Nobody wanted to do business. Now, 10 days or less. So
Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. As we continue, we're moving on to Wayne H. Hink. I said Hink. I'm so sorry. I was apologizing. Wayne H. Wink. You can clap for him.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm Lutheran. I don't know if I can do this room justice, but I'll do my best. Good evening. My name is Wayne Wink, and actually I too am an honorable. I served 20 years as a councilman in the town of North Hempstead, then as a Nassau County legislator, and after that as town clerk of the town of North Hempstead for 8 years. I learned firsthand as a county legislator how Nassau County government should and should not operate. And unfortunately, the lessons of how we should not operate are abundantly clear these days. Nassau County is spending down the surpluses that County Executive Laura Curran built up, along with the COVID money that we got, nearly $500 million worth of COVID money, and Nassau County is spending it down. Elaine herself has estimated that we're going to use $120 million of that just this year to close our budget gaps. And NIFA, the Nassau Interim Finance Authority, has indicated that our structural deficits going forward are over $200 to nearly $275 million a year. That's a problem. We are spending down reserves at an alarming rate. We can do better, and I will do better. We need real accountability. We need real watchdog, not lapdog. We need to know that we are watching the administration and their spending policies, and we don't have that now. And I will bring that to the fore. You know, I do want to have an opportunity, hopefully we will get to talk about the disparity study that Nassau County commissioned under Elaine's predecessor, that Nassau County sat on for 10 months. They did it jointly with Suffolk County. Suffolk County released it within 2 weeks. Nassau sat for 10 months, and I want to know why. And I'll hopefully get to do that in the question. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And we want to make sure that we give due where due is. The Honorable, we will make sure Wayne H. Wink. We want to give respect where respect is due.
And Wayne Wink Sr. thanks you too. So thank you for the junior part.
He'll be proud. So as we prepare to ask you your question,
Yep.
what specific steps would you take to improve oversight of county contracts and spending to prevent waste or misuse of taxpayers' dollars?
Look, the controller's job is as simple as ABC. The A stands for accounting and audits, and we don't do audits in Nassau County. And I'm not saying that. Elaine's own staff has written to me and said that. That's the unfortunate reality. The B in ABC stands for budgets and benefits, and the C stands for contracts and claims. Where we can do better, quite frankly, is in ensuring that A, we're providing real oversight, real audits, and we can provide transparency. The controller's website has something called an open checkbook on it. And it's a fascinating thing to look at. It's got roughly 800,000 entries from January 1st, 2019 until the most recent payments. It's paid out $9.6 billion. It tells you how much was paid. It tells you the department that requested it. It tells you the general services that were provided. The one thing open checkbook doesn't show you is who got paid. So whether it was a $63 bill from a stenographer for a deposition, or $1.5 million for sewage treatment plant work, you will never know who got paid based on going to the open checkbook. That's not real transparency. Real transparency is showing us when there were no bid contracts like Peter King received. And he received over $200,000 to provide Homeland Security advice to Nassau County. No one's saying he wasn't qualified to do it. What I'm saying is, when it's a no-bid contract that was done secretly without legislative oversight, we don't know who else could have done it, and we don't know who else could have done it more efficiently for Nassau County taxpayers. These are the areas where we can do better, much better than we have been. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move right along, and we're going to call up the Honorable Dorothy Gooseby to introduce herself.
I'm very happy to be here, and thank you all. I know most of the people that are here. I am Dorothy Gooseby. I am the first ever black woman who has been elected to the town in this area, the first. And most of you may know that started because of the Gooseby case on 1988. We served the state. We served the government. And then finally, in the year, I'm skipping all the other stuff because it's a lot, because I won't have time to really go through all of it. But in 99, finally, the government said, you must make sure that you give them the rights that they have. We have that right. So that's why we sit here today with all of you that looks like me, because we had the right to go ahead and make sure that we all of us had the right to vote. So, and that happened in 99, and really and truly, I had one man who said to me in 99, I don't want you to do this. And that same man is the one now who bothers me all the time. I won't tell you his name, but he's pretty big. So I was the first one ever to become that person. It has been a hard road for me in a sense because we've done a lot. You know, you have to do a lot of things that really doesn't get done that much. We have changed things around so that there were, all of us, many of us, African Americans did not have any jobs. They did not get any. No, anyone who worked did not have anything that they could have to work with. So that's one of the things that was very, very important for me, and it still is. As far as much of the things that are happening in the town, they don't happen because I make sure that they get done. I have things that I'm doing that nobody else has done, but I have few people in my state, in my area, who do help me with what I need to do. So I'm very proud about that. When we have other things that really people need, I know some people are saying that this is not done in certain areas. They are done. You just don't know that they are done. I make sure that things are done in that area. I work 6 days, 7 days, and I go to many places that will help us with what I do.
Time.
Okay, well, I have a little bit of time. None? Oh, shoot. I didn't get a chance to tell you what I need to tell you.
That's okay. That's okay. We're going to ask you a question next.
Okay, any questions?
So don't leave us yet.
All right, any questions?
Yes. Many families are struggling with property taxes and cost of living. What reforms would you prioritize to make towns more affordable for working families?
Well, we work very hard with that. Many times, most of the people that know me anyway, if I'm in this position, they will send whatever they want to me. And we do help them as far as homes are concerned. We help them as far as many things that many of our people don't know. And they will send to me. They really write me and get me to do what they need to do, and I do take care of that. There are some children that we help because they don't have any other place to go. I make sure that each year those kids are brought into the different libraries, and when they come into the libraries, they have to be taught there, and then they come to us, you know, as soon as school is out. And when they do, we get a chance to take care of them. I'm finished again?
No.
Oh, so anyway, we get the chance to give them good things, so they learn more than they would have learned if they had stayed in the school. The parents come with them. I am a Girl Scout as well. A Girl Scout for many years, so I stay there. But anything else I can say before you let me step down? I can say more? Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute. I tell you, this is one time I'm not getting a chance to tell you everything. But we work very hard with that, and because of that also, we do get more money for our residents that work there. So I'm very happy about that they can get paid. They didn't get paid enough, but they get paid now. Nobody bothers me with that part. Okay, that's it. This is mine, thank you.
Thank you so much. At the top of the program, we stated that there are some people who had to leave, and so we want to give them a chance to have a closing statement. So we're going to go in this order, Joseph and then Elaine.
And I apologize in advance. It's not my style. Full disclosure, I had a full head of hair. Pastor Easley, I had a full head of hair before I started campaigning, so he knows. He was here. He's been coming here frequently. So look, I just want to talk about some facts real quick. We live in America's largest township. We just got hit with over a 12% tax increase. There was pay raises given to themselves in the cloak of darkness. We get mailers, 4 or 5 a week. Not one person got a mailer about over a 12% tax increase. Think about that. That's just not right. That's not all, though. August 5th, the current leadership and my opponent muted the voice of the people. He was found illegally appointed by a Supreme Court judge, have violating the law, open meetings law full of transparency. We need to bring decency, honesty, and transparency back to government. August 5th was just the tip of the iceberg. Not only were they found guilty of violating and eroding public trust, but they also failed to answer subpoenas. They laughed in the face of the law. They didn't show up for court, and they didn't turn over documents. And it's just not right. We deserve a government for the people, all the people, and that's what I plan on doing as your next town supervisor. Thank you very much.
He asked me if I see his hair laying around anywhere. I said, I'll pick it up. The Honorable Elaine, you're next with your closing.
Yes, ma'am. So first, I want to address something. Open Nassau, this open checkbook, we were advised by security reasons to take the name off. If you foil, you call my office, you're going to know where that payment. So that's just wrong. I'm also going to say, please, go to my website, fact check, because we have done a lot of great audits. So it's simple. What do we want? We want financial security. We have not raised county property taxes in 4 years. We want safety for our children. Nassau County has been named the safest county in the United States. I will tell you, myself, my team, we have worked for the people. And you know, part of it is showing up. I will tell you, I am in every neighborhood, NAACPs, churches, giving out, working with Toys for Tots, because I care
Time.
about our community.
Perfect
so
timing.
Thank you. God bless you. And vote.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
There's a huge breast cancer event tonight. Thank you. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much for the opportunity to present to you this evening. Elaine referred you to one website. I'm going to refer you to another, Newsday.com. Last Wednesday, I was blessed by Newsday with their endorsement. Their endorsement said, specifically, the current controller has disappointingly failed at the job. And it also indicated that I am ready for the challenge. Newsday's endorsement meant the world to me because it was independent ratification of the things I've spent this entire year talking about. The issues are there. We are at a very, very dangerous moment fiscally in Nassau County. We're going back to the bad old days and spending down reserves to the point where, we are going to be fiscally unstable again. We're in the 15th year of a control board in Nassau County. A county as affluent as us should not be in a control period for that long. I ask you, do the research and then decide. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Thank you. So, what we're going to do now, Dorothy, do you have to go? We're going to, if it's okay with you, I can't let you leave without shaking my hand.
Well, thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you, and I apologize for the
And good luck to you. Cold hands, warm heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dorothy, who can stop you?
Okay, I just want you to know, when it comes to money, I do get money for our students, the ones that come, and we've done a great deal for them.
Before you go further, are you going to use this? Because we can time it. This could be your closing.
You want me to stay?
Would you like to do that?
I'll stay a little longer.
So do your close. Yes, I'd like to stay.
Okay, I'll do that for you.
Thank you. So now what we're going to do is move on. Oh, it's great that we went to the same university. We got a little pull. So we know that we have to have the Honorable Olena Nix come forward. I know ladies, she has to leave. I'm just being respectful of her time and doing what I am told. That's what the moderator's job is, to do what they're told. The Honorable Olena Nix will come and give her opening.
Thank you.
And what we're going to do with you is we're going to do your opening, we're going to give you your question, and you can do your closing, and you will be on time.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I want to first thank all the organizations for putting this together, and Reverend Easley for welcoming us in Union Baptist. My name is Olena Nix, and I am the current legislator for Legislative District 2, but I am running for re-election in District 5 due to the redistricting. And the reason that I'm running for re-election is because I truly believe that everyone within Nassau County deserves a fair shot at opportunity. They deserve great representation from those who are supposed to represent them. They deserve affordability and quality of life. And I want to make sure that they have someone in office that's going to continue to fight for those things for them. Over the last few years, I have led so many grassroots efforts in fighting for fair and equitable housing, making sure that we're uplifting our youth programs, and overall just trying to make the communities in which I live and our neighboring communities a better place to live. But my efforts haven't just stopped at the grassroots level. I have also led hands-on. As a firefighter for over 14 years and an ex-captain and a former library trustee, I have proudly fought for funding and making sure that our communities who feel underrepresented have a seat at the table. So I stand here in front of you today to continue that work. I'm proud of a lot of the work that we've done. We have since taking office, I've secured funding for some of our communities thus far, our fire departments, and really just looking to continue those efforts. So thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to look at the person when I'm asking the question. How will you ensure access to mental health services, homelessness prevention, and health care, especially for vulnerable populations?
As we're seeing lately, and we're being shown on the news, all of the threatened cuts, one of the ways is making sure that as we're reviewing the budget, and we're in budget season in the county, that we're asking the right questions and we're making sure that our budget lines are not being cut for the services of mental health and really Medicaid, because they are going to, if we do see that, they're going to disproportionately affect the communities that I serve in. I think it is important that, and I have since taking office, I have been in total communication with our Department of Social Services Commissioner Jose Lopez, making sure that our residents throughout the community get the help that they need, but also advocating and speaking up. And I think in one of these roles, one of the most important things about being a local representative is that we get to advocate and speak to our partners on the federal and the state level, connecting government and again, making sure that government works for the people and not the other way around. So having those communications, flagging what the needs are here in these communities, here in District 5, and communicating that all the way up to the state and our state partners and to our federal partners.
And now you can go right into your closing.
Thank you. So I will close with, I was elected in a special election in February, and again, I am really proud of the work that has been done thus far, and I am looking forward to continuing the work because we have so much to do. So many residents who need a fighter that's going to fight for them each and every day, a representative that's going to be responsive, that's going to pick up the phone, that's going to show up when it matters the most, and that representative is me. So thank you.
The Honorable Dorothy Gooseby, would you like to give your closing? Would you like to give your closing? Thank you.
There are many things that happen in the town that you're not aware of. I was able to get money for Uniondale. I was able to get money from Roosevelt. Roosevelt did not have anything there. They didn't have anything that could be used there for our children. So I was able to get somebody. I had $200,000 that was used to them. So they now have a beautiful area where they can use that for the kids to play. They have games, and we have other people who have donated many different obstacles for them so that they have a big place now to play. They didn't have that before. I've also made sure that across the street from it is the Roosevelt Library. So that's been done. It's all new, and people are able to do that. In addition to cleaning up the whole area, I have been able to do that. And as far as some of the schools are concerned, they're in very good shape now because we have been working very hard with it. So I don't always go around and talk about what I'm doing. I just do it because I don't have that much time to really see people or going to do other things that I normally could do. So I thank you very much for allowing me to do this, because I do have something else that I have to do. And I just want to say thank you to my Zeta Phi Beta sorority people who are here. And I always remember, I am only here because I didn't have money when I was in school in Apalachicola, Florida. And they just walked up to me and said, do you need money? And I said, yes. So that's why you don't hear me talking that much, because I love and I appreciate what they have done for me, and I continue trying to do that for others as well. So thank you.
Thank you. You can keep coming over. Yeah, you can keep coming. Okay. Give me a handshake. That was a FAMU hug, not an incumbent hug, just to let everyone know, just to be clear. Of course we're going to bring you up. We cannot possibly leave you there. Your facial expressions are so priceless. Jean-Baptiste Carlos, we're asking you to give an intro. You can stand or sit, whatever you'd like. You can give him a round of applause.
So my name is Jean-Baptiste Corellis. I am a graduate of Hempstead High School, class of 1987. And coincidentally, I was raised right there at Progressive Holiness Church on South Franklin. It just reminded me, just coming into this place, once in a while after service, we'd come to Union to see our friends, hang out. It hasn't changed a whole lot, but this place is absolutely beautiful. But having said that, you know what? I am a firefighter with the West Hempstead Fire Department. I am an EMT with the West Hempstead Fire Department. I have many years of service. I was a reservist with the Army Corps of Engineers for several years. The one thing that made me run is that I believe District 1 deserves good government. In all my campaigning, the one thing that I've heard over and over again from constituents is that District 1, we're not being listened to, acted upon for our concerns, and there are few deliverables, especially given the amount of taxes that we pay into the town of Hempstead. Now, a lot of these promises would be a concern, but I do have the experience to work on these and deliver. I have a master's degree in economics, over 2 decades in financial services, where I've gained experience in financial analysis and effective decision-making based on data. I believe this is a strong community, and I believe that together we can make it even stronger. That's why I came out to ask for your vote November 4th to be the next council person for District 1.
So you know what's next. How will you support safe spaces and recreation programs that help prevent youth How will you support safe spaces and recreation programs that help prevent youth violence and foster leadership development?
Absolutely. One of the first things that we have to do is, in collaboration with all the different levels of government. For example, while I was campaigning, there's a woman who I was exchanging email with, and she was lamenting the fact that Percy Jackson has been closed. There used to be, art classes, karate classes, all sorts of activities to keep our kids off the streets at that facility. We need to work. I know that's a private building. We could work with the village of Hempstead. We could work with Nassau County. We could work with the state and the town of Hempstead itself to find ways to keep facilities open for our kids. There is as well, if you look at Roosevelt, St. Francis Street Park, those residents collected thousands and thousands of signatures to reopen that park. Nassau County dedicated $1.7 million to reopen it. The town of Hempstead was supposed to do the same. We still don't know why St. Francis Street Park is closed. Now, if there's a reason, that's perfectly fine. My point is, open and responsive government isn't just responsive when things are going good. When things are going good, of course, I'm going to shout it from the top of the mountain. When things go bad, when the things I want to do are not going my way, you too deserve to know that as well. You need to know why my promise is not being kept. And I promise that I will tell you the good and I will tell you the bad. And to start with and to end it all, we definitely have to invest in those facilities and many others to make sure that our kids have some place to go and something to do to keep them occupied, to keep them off the streets, to make sure that they have a wholesome environment to be in. No problem. Thank you once again for hosting this event. Thank you for Union Baptist, Doctor. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to come here and talk to you, to give you a chance to see the choices that you have in this election. Now, my whole run is based on the idea of delivering good government to District 1, government that listens, acts, and delivers real results for real people. That is what I want to deliver. I think this is very important because this community, our community, is strong, and I believe with strong, energetic leadership, leadership willing to collaborate with Democrats, Republican, working family, I really don't care. The fact is, our families deserve more, and I am here to work to deliver as much as we can get, because we pay a lot into the system and we deserve more. Thank you.
At this time, we're going to add a little bit of something to the spice of this event, and we're going to introduce the current president of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, the Nassau Alumni Chapter, Sheila Wilson Duke.
Good evening. Good evening. I know this is an event saturated with information, but we can have some life. Amen? My name is Sheila Duke. I am the proud president of Nassau Alumni Chapter, and we are no stranger to social action. We have been doing this. We have been in the forefront since 1913 and serving Nassau County since 1963. And tonight, we have shared collaboration with partners that share our very same commitment. And it would be remiss of us not to acknowledge all of our partners, their presidents, as we recognize that tonight, as we listen to these candidates, this is about our neighborhood. These are about our children, our elders. And so we thank each and every single partner, and when you hear your name, if you can just wave your hand or stand up so that we can formally acknowledge you. First, we would like to thank again Dr. Easley and the Union Baptist Church. And I would be remiss if I did not shout out his social action, his social justice arm, and that of Brandon Ray. We have Bobby Powell from the Hempstead NAACP president. In the absence of my branch president, Doris Newkirk, I serve as the first vice president of the Lakeview branch of the NAACP. We have the 100 Black Women, Sister Valerie Tingle. We have Voter Education 365, Deborah Payton Jones. Black Voters Long Island, Sister Rochelle Kelly Apson. NCNW, Eleanor McKay. Baldwin Civic Association, Kim Malone. Sigma Beta Beta, Basilisk Fred Vincent in his absence, but I know there's some brothers of Omega Psi Phi present. Dr. Kendall Richards, Alpha Phi Alpha Eta Theta Lambda chapter. Basilisk Juanita Joyner Hicks of Theta Iota Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
In the absence of President Kevin Boston Hill, who serves as the National Panhellenic, I'm acknowledging my soror, Pamela Sharp Taylor, as the Vice President. And so this is not just about Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. This is about all of us collectively in the room. And we have the power to transform our communities, our streets, and make the impact. And after we hear these eloquent speeches, we have to keep them accountable. We have to knock on their doors. They have to come and see us, not just today, but they have to continue to see us. And I want to thank publicly our social action chairs, in that of Laura Harding and Kim Malone, and in the absence of our second vice president is still here, our program planning, Cherise Vanderhol. I want to thank them for all of their diligent efforts in making sure that tonight was successful. So again, I say God bless. Not only hear the information, but be about the information and mobilize to the polls.
That was a literal drop the mic. Okay, usually you just do. So at this time, to the stage, we're going to call up Nicole Eloise. Did I say it properly? Eloise, I gave you a little, okay, come on over. Joylette E. Williams. Keep the clapping coming, Joylette. Darian D. Ward. The Honorable Scott M. Davis. Miss Charlene Jackson. Viviana L. Russell. The Honorable Carrie Salage. I will tell you what they're running for, but some of their opponents are not here, so when we introduce them, we'll tell you the position that they're running for. You're very welcome. Miss Danielle Smichael. Hi. Good seeing you. It seems as though we have another candidate in the House, and they're going to identify them. But if you'd like to identify yourself first, I'll be happy to introduce you. Come on up. Mm-hmm. We have the lovely, the patient, Evelyn L. Dalmasi. You're very welcome. And it seems, Mr. Brown, come forward. And we'll get you a chair. You're going to get it? We're going to get you a chair. At no point will you be sitting away from the other candidates. I promise.
So while we wait for the chair for Kadeem, hi everyone. While we wait for the chair for Kadeem, if you all want to get a sip of water, take a bio break, feel free. Well, it's here now, so. Unless you're Superman or Superwoman, you won't be doing that. Is everyone here? Do you all need water? Are you fine? All right. Well, thank you all for being patient, and we will carry on with the program. Also, we'll be coming around again with cards. So if you have questions, please complete the cards and we'll collect them. And when we open it up for audience questions, we'll ask them. Hold on.
Who's handing out the cards? We have 2, 3 over here. Just making sure. So now that we've had a chance to sit, we're going to start with Nicole, because we want to have you come up and you, as district attorney, as a candidate for district attorney, we just want to make sure that you have a moment. You can stand, introduce yourself. You heard all of the requirements and rules. Our timekeeper is there for everyone on this panel. He will then be lifting up the cards. It will say 1 minute, it'll say 30 seconds, and it'll say time. I give you a blink and a wink after he says time to finish your sentence. Okay? Well, the wink left. So, so Nicole, it's your turn.
Good evening. Yeah, it's on? Oh. Good evening, everybody. My name is Nicole Alois, although it sounded a lot prettier when she said my last name. I am pleased to be here with you all this evening, and I'm even more pleased to be running to be the next district attorney of our county. Prior to running for DA, I worked for 16 years as a prosecutor, both here in Nassau County and in Queens County. I focused mainly in my career on violent felonies, gang violence, and homicide. I worked day in and day out for 16 years with the community, with witnesses, with victims, with defense attorneys, and with the court to make sure that when justice was handed out, it was handed out even-handedly. And the reason I left the office and I'm running for district attorney is because under the current administration, that is not the case. Right now, what we see is that the district attorney who we have in this county is no longer a public servant, but a politician. And the district attorney should first and foremost be a public servant and a prosecutor. I have been going around to every single community throughout my entire campaign to make sure that you know who I am and I know who you are. I thank you all for being here and showing us, all of us candidates, the respect of wanting to come and be informed voters, to listen to us and learn what we're about. And you have my word that when I'm elected district attorney, I will be showing you that same respect. This is not just a photo op for me. This is an acknowledgement that in order to run a successful district attorney's office and keep Nassau County safe, I have to be a partner with the community, and that's what I intend to do. Thank you.
I just wanted to make sure if there was not another candidate, my question was whether or not I should just let you do, or whoever is here without a person running against them, to allow you to then have the moment. So we're going to move forward and let you have your moment. So I'm going to ask you your question, and then I'm going to then give you an opportunity for your closing, because I think that the flow will be better since we have different positions that people are running for. That way the audience will be able to keep up and make sure that your answer is to the question that they've asked. Okay, is that good with everyone on the stage? Okay, thank you. Is that good with you guys out here? Okay, perfect. So, Nicole, we have a wonderful question for you, as we do for everyone. What steps will you take to ensure fair and impartial prosecution, especially in cases involving communities of color?
That's a very important question, thank you, and I know I touched on it a little bit, but let me just assure you this. Right now, we have a deficit in experienced prosecutors working in the Nassau District Attorney's Office. Over 90 prosecutors left, like myself, under the current administration because they refuse to work under the policies and procedures that are put in place under the current district attorney. So first and foremost, I will be bringing back those experienced prosecutors and making sure that each and every one of them is involved in the communities that we serve. I'm also going to be forming a community advocacy group as well as an advisory council. I will be working with ministry as well as community leaders to make sure that I know at all times what's important to each and every community, because I don't think there's one way to just go about doing my job as district attorney across the board in Nassau County. Every single community deserves the attention and the special resources that each community needs and is looking for. Thank you. What was the other part of that question? I'm sorry. Oh, and so once I find out what each and every community is really interested in and what crimes matter to each and every different community, I will make sure that those are addressed in a manner consistent with how the community wants them addressed. If it's to give more resources to prevent crime early on, to invest in our youth, to invest in mental health, to invest in addiction, that is something I fully intend on doing. And I will make sure that your voices are heard and that I am delivering the type of justice that keeps you all safe.
Thank you so very much. And at this time, you can do your closing.
Thank you. So I intend, as I said, on bringing not only experience back to the district attorney's office, but to restoring it to a place of integrity, professionalism, and respect. And that's not just respect for the employees and the civil servants who work there, respect for law enforcement, but respect for the communities as well. As I mentioned earlier, you have my word that as district attorney, I will first and foremost be a public servant, not a politician. If anybody has any additional questions or issues that you want to ask me before you vote on election day, please feel free to reach out to my campaign, and I am more than happy to discuss everything and anything with you. God bless each and every one of you, and don't forget to vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You can give her another round of applause. It seems as though she has to leave. And if you do not have to leave the room, you can always come and sit here and listen to all the candidates so that you can learn more about those that you will be working with. Next up, we're going to have our Nassau County Clerk candidate, Joylette E. Williams.
Good evening, everyone. It is truly a pleasure to be here in Union and have what we call the Union experience. Reverend Dr. Easley, the angel of this house, thank you for assisting and hosting this amazing event. Thank you to all of the collaborators. I must introduce myself by way of the community service that I am currently performing and will continue to do so throughout this community. I am a former village trustee of the village of Hempstead. I am currently serving as a board trustee for the Hempstead School District. I am also a village liaison to the IDA board, the Industrial Development Agency of the town of Hempstead. And I as well am a member of the Hempstead Community Land Trust, the NAACP Hempstead branch, AARP Hempstead Roosevelt branch, the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated Alumni Chapter. And I continue to serve in these roles even as I am reaching toward improving the quality of service that we as Nassau County residents receive in the clerk's office. One of the first programs or plans that I have for the clerk's office is to increase the ability for the office to serve, and that includes updating the operating system so that the 1,700 transactions that move throughout the clerk's office throughout the day are handled more efficiently with less time. I also intend to decrease the fees, which are exorbitant. They are higher than those of Westchester County or Suffolk County and surrounding areas, and I will say more about that when my time is not up. Thank you.
You need not sit. How will you ensure transparency and accountability in your office?
That's a big one. Because our current administration, I am deeply troubled by the lack of transparency we have. The lack of attention to affordability, as I just very briefly mentioned, with the exorbitant fees that the county charges and the clerk's office charges for things like property deed transfers. So I will ensure accountability by making sure that the clerk's office remains a separate entity from the county executive's office. It was designed as a separate entity so that when FOIL requests come in that deserve to be honored, they're honored, instead of having oversight from the county executive to withhold information that should be publicly accessible and available, and for FOIL requests that should be honored. I will also have more transparency in the budget, which we're not entirely sure what these exorbitant fees are going toward, but I've been doing research with title companies and with title insurance companies on how to reduce those fees. I have a real plan for how to do these and to make our affordability more accessible for our residents. I also plan to make the office itself more accessible by increasing extending the hours that are currently available, because the office closes at 5 o'clock, which is a real struggle for those of us who work, who pick up children and grandchildren from school, who have other responsibilities and can't get to Mineola before 4:30, 5 o'clock. There's also a mobile van that is housed in the clerk's office that many Nassau County residents don't even know exists, and it primarily serves the less mobile residents. And I intend to make that a van available to everyone and not just a few neighborhoods. So there are lots of resources that we can make accessible, and I intend to do that as your next Nassau County clerk. Thank you.
So now part 3. Unless I'm losing it, you're closing.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, this is urgent. This is urgent. Our local elections are ones that, and the people that we are going to place in office on November 4th affect us to a greater, sometimes depending on the issue, significance than those of the midterms that we're looking toward in 2026 and our next presidential election as well. We are in a state of emergency for the ability of our elected officials to carry out what is of genuine service to the people. And so I am asking for your vote and your support so that we can make our government, our local government, more efficient. And also, again, as we look toward the midterms, to support our candidates that we're really, really going to need to hold up in 2026. Please be happy to answer any questions that you have after this, after the forum. VoteJoyWilliams.com is my website, and I look forward to serving you. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a mouthful, and thank you for playing along with us and going straight through. It's important that people know and have the consistency of knowing what you're running for and your office so that their questions will make sense when they go over them in their head later. We also would like to say if any of the candidates have time after, we may have additional questions that the audience may want to ask of you, and time permitting, we'll be able to ask those questions. So those who remain will be able to ask you those, okay? It's not mandatory, but we just wanted to give you that opportunity. Next up, we're going to have our candidate for town clerk for the town of Hempstead, Evelyn L. Dalmasi. Did I say it properly?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you, the sponsors, everyone. I just want to tell a little bit about myself before my time runs out. I'm Evelyn Dalmasi. When I get elected in November, by God's grace, I will be the first black woman town clerk, town of Hempstead town clerk. I will be the first immigrant, first Haitian. Yes, Haitian. Okay? I had said, I know you guys may have heard this before. I had said, I gave my life to God to say, God, use my life as you will. Okay, that's why he charted my path, went to college, have 2 degrees, advanced degrees, master's in business, master's in diplomacy, because, I'm like, what is a diplomacy degree for? But I wanted to change the world. That's why I went back to school. From then on, I became an attorney. Along the way, I'm picking up tools, I'm picking up skills, so I can be your public servant, your next town of Hempstead town clerk. Okay, when I asked God to use me, I didn't know God was going to use me now when people are saying Haitians go home. But, I want to leave you with this. When you see other people are fighting to say people are losing their jobs, people are losing grants because, of DEI. In between DEI, what do you have? Equity. I, as your next town clerk, would be that person that bring equity back to the town of Hempstead town clerk office. I am your justice. And as your next town of Hempstead town clerk, that door will be open to you, everyone, not just the connected few. That's what I promise you. I am your justice, but with wisdom. Thank you.
Are you ready for your question?
I am ready. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Oops. After your term ends, how do you want your constituents to judge your performance? What measurable goals will you set now?
I love this question. Wow, there's been some powerful, great questions tonight. When my term ends, I want to be able to walk on the streets and not have rocks thrown at me. I want people to look at me and say, she represented us. She had an open door. She served everyone, even the ones that have been forgotten, that people don't know where they live. I want to be that person that represents each and every one of you. When you see me on the streets, you're going to want to hug me. I want to be that town clerk, okay? That's what I want to be remembered as and by. Any other question? No?
No, what's great about that is that'll lead you right into giving us your closing.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So I think I've said a mouthful. You guys have not seen me around too much because I am not a politician. I am an advocate. I used to work for an assembly member. I know how to work for the constituents. I know what it means to be a public servant. And as a Haitian person, you know what kind of blood runs in my veins. So I promise to be that person that advocates, that fight hard. As a trained diplomat, okay, because I got that master's in diplomacy, I promise to be that person that works with everyone, irregardless of your party, irregardless of your age, your religion, whomever you may be. I promise to be that person that reaches across the aisle, that represents each and every one, not just the Democrats. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Your choice. What's more comfortable for you?
Oh, I'd like to watch my card.
Next, we're going to ask the Town of Hempstead 4th District Council Member Candidate, Mr. Darian D. Ward, to come forth. You're very welcome. You can
Darian D. Ward, wow, that's a lot. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I want to thank you all for being here and taking the civic engagement seriously. It's very important. And I want to thank all the sponsors, and I certainly want to thank Union Baptist Church for hosting this event. I want to introduce myself. This is not my first time running. I ran in 23, and I had a good showing, and they decided to ask me to come back. So I'm running again with the intent to win. With that in mind, I'm going to give you a little background about myself. I've raised my kids here in Baldwin. I'm a Baldwin resident. I'm married to a wonderful woman who asked me to run again, who gave me permission to run again, put it that way. I want to make it clear to you that I am a public servant. I'm not a politician. I am your champion. I am the one who will take what you tell me and I bring it to the inside room. But I also going to need you to be on the outside room to hold me accountable. My job is to lift voices that have been unheard or not seen. And my job is to bring the best minds around the table to affect policy that benefits our community. I think we've been overlooked too often, and we have accepted whatever the town gives us. But we need to change the culture of the town to be more responsive, and that's my aim. With Eveline and Joe Shinablo, who was here earlier, we plan to make a change in the culture of the town and be respectful and responsive to your needs, and provide you equitable distribution of services, make sure your taxes are accounted for, and being transparent about your taxes and where the dollars are going.
Thank you so very much. And your opponent is not here, so we're going to allow you to continue. Your question is as follows. What are your plans to expand youth programming, job training, and mentorship opportunities, particularly in underserved areas?
So, good question. Thank you for the question. The way I see it and the way I format how I plan to see my role in the town government is to actually bring the minds around the table to help me strategize on what programs will benefit you. I don't have the answers. I don't have a top-down approach. I have a ground-up approach, meaning that I will listen to what you offer as what you need, and I will then go to get the resources, the dollars, to bring it in so that we can have these programs. I know for my office, I plan to have an internship within the district office to create public service awareness among our youth. So that's one thing that I will personally do within my office as a champion of public service.
You got to encourage them after they speak. Give them a little hand clap, you know?
It's all good.
It takes a lot to get up there and to run, and then to speak in front of all of you and answer questions that they had not had the privilege of knowing in advance. So let's just be a little encouraging. Not that you aren't, but let's just pump up the volume a little. Sorry, Pastor. So what we're going to allow you now is for your closing.
So I would make very clear what I lack in eloquence and speech, I have in tenacity and heart to bring to the job. It's not my first time. So as a civic leader twice elected that now Kim holds the seat that I'm so happy, willing to pass to her, I understand the challenges of being in the spotlight. I also understand the challenges of trying to address all the constituents' needs. But my job is to do the best I can given the circumstances. I'm looking forward to your support because the town of Hempstead needs a change at the top on the way down to the bottom. I will be an advocate for you. Clearly, I am young at this. I'm a young guy at this in the sense that this is not my job. This is not what I do full time. So I'm taking on a role that I'm hoping I gain support. And you will see that my energy and my drive will be successful because then you'll be successful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I just want to remind the candidates, and if you have not received one of the cards and you need a card to write your question down, please do so. They still have cards, and the candidates have already said yes, that they will be here afterward to answer some of your questions. We're going to move to the Nassau County Legislature, and we're going to start with the 1st District. So we're going to ask the Honorable Scott M. Davis.
Good evening, everyone. So thank you for hosting tonight. And I want to just say this is called Democracy in Action. Thank you. So I think this is a wonderful opportunity to get to know the candidates, what they stand for, and what, if any, track record they may have. So I thank you all. I am running for re-election in LD1, somebody who was elected in 2023 by all of you, and I thank you for that. So I believe that as a legislator, as an elected official, when you represent a community, you should understand and reflect their values. And in this election, we have a very clear set of choices. You see, I'm a Democrat. My opponent is a conservative Republican. I have done the job. I have a track record. I show up everywhere. And I'm going to give you just a little example of something that you should all relate to. Having a representative is a lot like flying in an airplane when there's turbulence. And I don't care if you're religious or not, when you first hear that turbulence and you feel it, you find God. And what you want more than anything else when you're strapping in, you're holding on, you want somebody who's done it before, who's going to land that plane, who's going to make you feel safe. I've used that experience as an attorney, as a father, as a husband, as a legislator. I've shown I could land the plane, and I'll do it again.
On time. Next, we're going to have your opponent, Ms. Charlene Jackson.
Is this mic on? Yes? Okay.
Again, this is the Nassau County Legislature.
Thank you so much.
First District race.
So the first district encompasses all of Roosevelt, part of Hempstead, South Hempstead, part of Baldwin, and all of Rockville Center. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Charlene Jackson, but many of you may know me as Charlene Thompson, and I am a servant leader. I've been out here for decades doing this work. Some of you may know me as the former commissioner of the Community Development Agency, where I served under Don Ryan, as well as the current Mayor Hobbs. Some of you may know me as Deputy County Attorney, where I currently serve in the Family Court, where I prosecute abuse and neglect cases on behalf of the Department of Social Services. Some of you may know me as a law professor at Hofstra University, where I teach second-year law students foundational lawyering skills. I am also a proud member of Memorial Presbyterian Church, and I'm not a stranger to Union Baptist. I am a servant leader, and I have the courage of my conviction. I don't shy away from being a conservative Republican. I have values, and I stand for those values. Faith, family, and community. That's what I stand for. And if you look at my 30 years of service in the community, I'm a civil life member at the Freeport Roosevelt chapter for NACP. I'm a current member of the Hempstead NACP. I am a proud member, 40 years come December, of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I am a Howard University law graduate. That's right, and I came back to my community, raised by Roosevelt, graduate of Uniondale High School, went off to college and law school, and came back to invest my time, talent in my community, and I've been doing that for 30 years. And I'm not done yet. I have more work to do. I have the experience, and I'll hold that thought.
Thank you very much. What we are going to do now is, Mr. Scott Davis, we're going to ask you your question. The Honorable Scott Davis. I don't want to be disrespectful.
It's all good.
Coastal flooding, aging septic systems, water quality, and major concerns are all major concerns for Long Island. What's your strategy for protecting Nassau's environment and ensuring clean, safe water for all the residents?
Oh, this is a layup. I cannot believe you're asking me that question. So, as a first-year legislator, the first thing that I did was I fought for 9 months in the legislature to get money from the American Rescue Plan for Hempstead. Now, that money wasn't something that was given to me. The Blakeman administration gave $2 million to Republican-led districts. And when I saw that, I said, I want that money too. And I want to know how you got it because I'm going to do the same thing. And when I said that, it was met with crickets. But I didn't give up. If anyone knows me, you know that I went everywhere. And the first thing I did was fight. And it was fighting for that water. I went to people in the Blakeman administration, and I spoke to them. I went to churches. I had press conferences. I wrote op-ed pieces because I wasn't going to give up. I was going to fight because water is essential. Water has no color to it. It doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or you're a Democrat. And I'm proud to say, along with now Senator Sheila Bino in the Minority Caucus, we were able to get $1.75 million to help clean up the water in Hempstead. And shortly thereafter that, Governor Hochul gave us an additional $37 million to help clean up the water in Hempstead. That's what you do in the environment.
Thank you so very much. Ms. Charlene Jackson, your question?
I'm ready. I'm going to stay up here this time, y'all.
Okay. How will you balance economic development and community preservation to prevent displacement in revitalizing areas?
So, one of the things I didn't tell you about myself, I have an economic development consulting firm named Thompson Economic Development Services. And in that capacity, I have worked with HUD-funded agencies to bring economic development to our community. I've also worked with small business owners to get their certification to be able to do government contracting opportunities. So there's a multi-pronged approach of how we deal with that. When we talk about, I'm going to use Main Street of Hempstead as an example, right? Nassau County is overdeveloped, but there are pockets that need redevelopment. If I tell you about that fish market on Main Street that used to be the Woolworths, that's been vacant, I don't know, 30 years now, it's ridiculous that that's our Main Street. When I was working under Mayor Ryan and Mayor Hobbs, I had a plan for revitalizing that. But unfortunately, the Nassau County candidate lost the election and all those people needed to find places to land. And one of the places was my seat, which was my dream job as commissioner because I was able to be impactful in that position. I was there through COVID. I was able to work with Senator Schumer at that time to bring multiple millions of dollars into the village of Hempstead. I personally was responsible for bringing more than $16 million into the village by grants that I wrote for the village. Our main streets shouldn't look like that. Along the Nassau Road corridor, there's Miss Shelley's that was burnt down decades ago. That's a prime commercial property that needs to be revitalized. Those are opportunities where we bring resources from the county, from the state, from the town to leverage those resources to bring those properties back online. Because when we bring those commercial properties back online, that helps the residential owners and shifts the tax burden.
Thank you so very much. The Honorable Scott Davis, it's your time to do your closing.
Thank you. So the premise of what I do, my job, how I represent the community, I believe you have to show up. And you look at the pillars, the institutions that build and hold up a community. And all of those pillars, all of those places, I am no stranger there. Let's just start with education. I've sat and met with President Posner. I've met with Mr. Lentini, president of Malloy. I've met with every superintendent in the district. I go to every church that there is. I understand that the most important part of the job is to show up, listen, and act. And just very briefly, in terms of what an endorsement looks like when you do your job right, and I hate to read, but I have to do it because it's too many.
Time.
I'll just say it's 14 endorsements, 5 by law enforcement, 9 by the unions, Moms Demand Action, and the corridor count.
I'm going to say time again. I appreciate it.
So showing up is all well and good, but let me tell you, I know how to get stuff done. I have a track record of getting stuff done. I'll give you an example. In Newcastle, Westbury, if any of you know that Prospect Avenue corridor, that was my project, working with then Senator Hillary Clinton, which led to the revitalization of the Long Island Railroad, which led to a $5 million downtown revitalization initiative for the village of Westbury. That was my project. Nassau Road Corridor, that traffic calming, if those of you remember 20 years ago, there were 4 lanes where people had to run across. One of the first things I did when I joined Nassau County was to write a traffic calming grant to allow a safe haven for people trying to cross those four lanes and proving that. As Commissioner of Community Development, I worked directly with our nonprofit organizations to make sure that they had the capacity to get government funding and would be able to handle that money well. Faith, family, and community. That's what I stand for.
Thank
I hope
you.
I get your vote, November 4th.
Thank you. Let's give both of our candidates for Nassau County Legislator, 1st District, a round of applause. Next, we're going to go to the 2nd District. We're going to ask Viviana L. Russell to come forward.
I got it. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm not going to come down because I would spend a lot of time walking down the stairs where I could be talking to you. My name is Viviana Russell. I'm a resident of Newcastle, Westbury. I bring you greetings as a candidate for Legislative District 2. Legislative District 2 encompasses, since I'm right here in Hempstead, I'm going to start here with Hempstead, Uniondale, Carl Place, Westbury, Hicksville, and a very small portion of Jericho. A little bit about myself. I was born and raised in East Elmhurst, Queens. I moved to Long Island in 1999 along with my family. I'm married. I have 3 children and 2 grandchildren. I started my community service as a PTA mom, and then I went on to be a community advocate working on behalf of our senior citizens. I was later elected to the Town Council of North Hempstead, and I served there valiantly for 12 years. After leaving office, I went to work in Suffolk County, where I oversaw operations for the 311 call center, as well as a member of the continuous innovation team. And what that team did was look at every department within Suffolk County and look at where there was a need for efficiency and an improvement. And I also oversaw the contracts division for the Department of Social Services in Suffolk County, as well as the Special Investigations Unit for Suffolk County. I'm a small business owner. I have my own consulting firm where I do environmental justice compliance as well as community outreach and engagement. I'm a realtor. I'm an associate broker. I've been practicing real estate for the past 20 years. And I'm also, as I mentioned before, a wife, a mother, and a grandmother.
Thank you very much. Viviana, your question is as follows. If elected, in 4 years, what will you point to as your key successes? What metrics will you use to evaluate your performance?
Thank you for that question. So in 4 years, and this is a 2-year term, but because of even year, it's going to be 1 year. We're going to have to run again next year. But in 4 years, I'll be able to point to some of the major improvements we've been able to do in District 2. So as I mentioned, my area encompasses Uniondale and Hicksville, Westbury, Carl Place, Hempstead, major vital economic engines for Nassau County. The Nassau County hub is in my district. Nassau Community College is in my district. Hofstra University is in my district. Roosevelt Field Mall is in my district. Hicksville train station is in my district. The major hubs of economic development are in my district. So in 4 years, I hope to have, with the support of the other levels of government, state, town, and federal, a viable project at the Nassau Coliseum. For too long, we have had vacant property that is not serving us. My plan will be to develop that property in a way that is amenable to the community that it is hosted in. I am very familiar with Carl Place in Westbury because I represented them for 12 years on the town board. I have been spending the last several months in Uniondale, in Hempstead, in Hicksville, in Jericho, getting to know those communities and getting to know what their wants and needs are. And so in 4 years, I will be able to come back to the table with the support of the community and say that we were able to get the job done that they asked me to do.
Thank you, Viviana. And now you can go straight into your closing. You are the only candidate today for the 2nd District.
So as I mentioned, I served North Hempstead for 12 years. And why I mention that is because I have experience, and experience does matter. I have had great predecessors, and they have done great work in District 2, and I plan on continuing that work and improving upon the work that they have done. My experience with economic development, I was part of the development of the Yes We Can Community Center in Newcastle, 60,000 square foot, $26 million facility. Affordable housing, not just affordable housing, affordable workforce and senior housing, over 250 units of housing, putting blighted properties back on our tax roll. And why is that important? Because we pay high taxes here in Nassau County, and when you have blighted properties or underutilized properties, you pay more as residents. So by putting those properties back on the tax roll, we put downward pressure on the taxes that you and I all pay. I have experience, I've done it before, and I intend to bring my experience to the Nassau County Legislature. Thank you.
Let's give Viviana a nice round of applause, running for 2nd District. We're going to move to the 3rd District, where we have the Honorable Carrie Solange, who will be giving us his intro now.
Good evening, Union Baptists. Good evening to Dr. Easley, and good evening to all my Deltas. I'm wearing a red tie today in honor of our Deltas. It is so great to be here. I'm a county legislator for the past 11 years, representing the western part of Nassau County. I'm one half of a political powerhouse. My sister's an assemblywoman, and I'm just a county legislator. She calls me County Boy. And we're known as the Caribbean Kennedys. And we've been improving western Nassau County. And we've been making it great. And so many people here in this room tonight that I respect highly. The 3rd District has changed its shape because of redistricting. The district now is no longer going north to south, it's going east to west, going from Elmont all the way to Lakeview. And I love that I'm going to represent Lakeview because Lakeview has been overlooked, in my opinion. And you know, at one point I represented Inwood, which was the forgotten 5th town, and I made it the 1st of the 5 towns. And so I'm going to give that same love to Lakeview and to all other areas in my community. I think I had a lot to do with the UBS Arena. That is the last and greatest example of an infrastructure project in Nassau County that has now revolutionized western Nassau County, providing jobs and opportunity for our community. That's what I'm going to do in the next 2 years. We want to get something great at the hub so that we also can partake in an economic revolution. I'm an attorney. I practice law. I go to court every day. I protect people's civil rights. I'm a father. I have a son. I have a daughter with this lovely woman right here. Thank you. I have a lot of support in my community. People believe in me, and I want you to believe in me because together we're going to accomplish great things together. After this election on November 4th, I'm going to announce a brand new community center for Elmont. It's beyond my campaign. This is something great. This community center will be the new Timbuktu of Nassau County, a center of learning and a center of higher learning, of course. It is great to be here tonight. I want to thank this church. This church has done so much for Nassau County. I'm a Democrat, and I need your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up for the 3rd District, we have Mr. Kadeem Brown.
Hey, how you doing, everyone? My name is Kadeem Brown. I'm a resident of Elmont, graduated from Elmont Memorial High School in '09, graduated from Penn State with a bachelor's degree in management in 2014, and I've been working in private wealth management for the last decades, helping families, small business owners, pro athletes, social media influencers stay on track with their financial goals by taking whatever their major financial goals and breaking it down to real manageable steps. Those are some of the skills that I hope to take to the legislators outside of my career and the other accolades that I have. One of the big things that I'm really, really passionate about is community. And when I think about community and growing the community, one of the best ways to do is you go out there, you get all the education, you do everything you think, and then you take it back and you build your own community that you're from. One of the biggest things that we see is Nassau County has raised me. I played Little League here. I learned how to swim at Echo Park. I did boxing at Freeport Pals and Westbury Pals. And the biggest thing is the same resources that I got that kind of made me into who I am today. We want to make sure that are accessible for the next generation that's coming up. So it's super important to me that what we put into this community, it comes back out and it looks the way it's supposed to be. It looks nice. District 3 is the gateway of Nassau County. It's the first representation that we see when we come into Nassau County, so it should be upheld to a high standards to make sure that people that come in feel safe, they feel welcome in, and they have a good experience while they're here. Thank you.
Mr. Slange, I'm going to ask you a question. Would you like to stay there or come down? Reliable public transit is vital for working residents. What will you do to improve transportation options, especially for communities with limited access?
Great question. I represent Elmont, which is on the border of Nassau and Western Nassau County in Queens, and I've been able to secure additional bus lines along Meacham Avenue, which is one of 2 north to south conduits in Elmont. I was able to secure a Able Ride Safe bus that operates every 20 minutes, and I make sure it operates every 20 minutes. I was also able to get funding to redo the Jamaica Bus Terminal Hub so that people can get home safely and quickly, so they can enjoy their families. Transportation is very important. Elmont has the second most busy bus stop on Elmont Road, the Hempstead Turnpike. Of course, that leads to the Hempstead terminal, and we must do more. I will secure more federal grants. I will secure more grants to our state partners, like Sheila Bino, our state senator, who I've worked closely with as a legislator. In fact, it was Sheila Bino and I and Legislator Kravon Abrahams who were able to secure body cameras on our police officers. And it took us 8 years to do that, but we got it done. So public transportation is very important. You know, I believe that our buses are the chariot of the proletariat, and I know that, you know, for example, right now in New York City, you don't have to use the Metro card to get onto a bus. So we want to make sure that coming very soon, that's going to come to Nassau County probably in the next month or 2. We've been advocating for that. So public transportation is very important, especially for people who live on limited means. We here in Nassau County, and the reality is, we don't live in the Gilded Age of Nassau County. People are living paycheck to paycheck here in Nassau County. And we have to do everything we can to help them afford the basics of life. We have an affordability crisis, yet we have high taxes, and no one has any plan to address these high taxes. So we have to do everything we can when it comes to public transportation. I'm not satisfied with the LIRR. They do not run often. Despite congestion pricing, we're still getting slow trains, and so we need to improve on that. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Kadeem Brown. Ready? Do you support county-level incentives or mandates for green building, energy efficiency, or renewable energy? And how would you implement them?
Yeah, so my associates at Penn State was in electric power generation, so it's kind of a far left where I'm doing right now. And that's really based on reusable energy, making sure that, you know, we're not really relying on a lot of the resources that we pull from the ground every day to make sure that we're not using up all our resources and over-exaggerating that. So when it comes to how can we develop more things that are going to be energy efficient, I know there's a wind tunnel going on offshores. Different things like that can help bring additional resources, whether it's solar that we see coming into the industry now. For the past couple of years, we see solar playing a big change or a big role in energy efficiency. So we want to make sure, again, when we talk about cost, that's a big thing. Whether your energy bill is high, we have to look for other alternatives outside of just what we're naturally doing right now to make sure that we're keeping energy low and affordable for everybody.
Thank you for your answer. Mr. Lange, you can give your closing.
Thank you. Again, it was a pleasure to be with you here tonight. I want you to think about this quote: politics without economics is like a symbol without substance. You have to think about the economic ramifications of all these laws that your local bodies are passing. Let me give you an example. Our county executive has failed us when it comes to giving county money that you pay for, that you pay in property taxes, to local minority women business enterprises. It is untrue, some things that were said before. 2%, less than 2% of county contracts are going to NWBEs. Less than 2% of a $4.4 billion budget. That is unacceptable. Our county executive is showing in our face that he is anti-DEI, taking away resources from our community. Secondly, our property taxes. People like my parents, like my dad, a former New York City police officer, they pay $15,000 in taxes, almost $20,000 on a home that's valued about $500,000, $600,000. Whereas the rich people who live in Roslyn and above on the North Shore on $1 million houses, they're only paying $30,000.
Thank you very much.
We're paying more than our
It's time.
disproportionate share, and that is unfair, and we have to vote row A all the way. Thank you.
Mr. Kadeem Brown.
So I want to close by saying all the things that I want to do for my great district, but unfortunately I have to take a step back. And when I do get into legislative, it's going to be more repairing a lot of the relationships, especially with the Nassau County Police. If you look at the endorsement list, District 3 was the only district that wasn't been endorsed by the Nassau County Police Department. That should be big red flags for everybody. I want to come in with a brand new set of leadership. Any leaders that have been in there for over 10 years, it's doing a disservice because you're not going to be able to stay on top of the new trends and do what needs to get done for the community. So hopefully I can be that fresher breath air, come in, give some new energy to the legislative and also to my district.
Thank you very much. Let's give both candidates for the 3rd District a round of applause. We're going to round the night out with our District 6. And our candidate that has come this evening is Ms. Danielle Smichael.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Danielle Smichael. I am running for Legislator District 6, which covers Freeport, South Baldwin, and Oceanside. Unlike my people here on the stage, they have years and years and years of experience, but they all started out somewhere like me. So I'm just starting. So my experience, I graduated Freeport High School, class of 2015, and went on to college to pursue my bachelor's degree in political science and communication studies. I came back home. I worked in a law firm, thought I was doing everything correctly. You go to college, you get a job, you move out, and then COVID hit. And I was like, okay, all my plans have gone down the drain. So I decided to step into education. I work at the Academy Charter School in Uniondale. I'm a college and career counselor, so I work with many high school students, over 500 students every single day, tirelessly helping them figure out what they will do with themselves after high school, because it's never a straight line. So I am a mentor, I am a lawyer, I am a legislator already, because I'm always battling those different situations within the classroom. I ran before last year for Assembly, and that was my humble experience as well, going up against someone with a credible name in the community. But one thing that I've learned is people just care about you being yourself. They don't teach you how to become a politician. They kind of just throw you to the wolves and you figure it out. So I knocked on doors. I knocked on every single one's door, whether you were Democrat, Republican, or in between. And I said my story, I shared what I wanted, and I realized, and I also listened to the people in the streets. And everyone agreed. They want safer streets. They want schools that are funded. They want to have a community that they can be proud to live in, serve in, and just give it back to. So, is that my time? Oh, sorry.
You had,
5 seconds. Sorry.
That's okay.
So sorry.
Since you're the only candidate at this point, you will then be able to move right into your question. Are you ready for your question?
Yes.
What do you see as the essential role of a county legislator? And what are your top 2 to 3 policy priorities if you are elected?
As a legislator, I believe that you need to be there for the people. Not just there for a photo, but really talking to those individuals that you are serving, remembering why you were even voted in the first place. I feel like when you get into a position and you've been there for years, you kind of forget the people that voted you in. So just reestablishing those relationships and making sure that the people are understanding that you're still there for them. You're not too far away from their reach. As legislator, I want to be able to be an advocate for the people that I'm serving. Freeport, Baldwin, Oceanside, those communities don't all look the same. They don't all have the same population or types of people in that community, but I want to be able to be a voice for those who feel like they have no voice. When I'm knocking on doors, people say no one has ever knocked on my door before. I'm voting for you because of that. And just seeing and being the outreach that the people need to be able to stand up to whoever's higher than me in those offices to make sure that my people can get what they need in regards to their safety, their resources in their community, their schools, and just showing up for them, whether it's in Washington, whether it's in Albany, and whether it's in the boardrooms against others. Oh, there's another part to the question, sorry.
No. You want to know the rest of the question?
Oh, yes, please.
The 2 to 3 policy priorities if elected, and you can take that straight into your closing.
Sure. So my campaign is basically about making sure we have lower taxes in our community. It is extremely difficult living in this community with the high taxes, being a young person, being an old person, regardless of your age. Rent is not cheap, mortgage is not cheap, and people are feeling the burden. No matter what, they're feeling the burden. Making sure that our streets are safe, having good partnerships with the police. I know everyone says they have a great relationship with their public officials and, police, but in that regard, just making sure that those relationships are always just being maintained and held accountable. And then making sure that our future is just something that we can depend on. I understand that running in this area is a challenge, but people need to understand that if a change is necessary, you must vote for that change. Early voting does start on Saturday, the 25th. Make sure that you are going out, doing the research against your politicians, holding them accountable, and just looking into what policies have they changed, what have they said they wanted to do and not have done at all. So thank you so much.
Let's give Danielle Schmeichel a round of applause, running for District 6. At this time, we're going to ask the remaining candidates all the same question. We're going to pose this question, and whoever would like to start will be able to start. What steps will you take in your role to make sure Black and minority residents have a real voice in policy decisions that affect their daily lives, not just during election season, but year-round?
I'll start with that one. Sure.
1 minute response. And when we say time, we mean time. Thank you.
Thank you. So it all starts with the idea of showing up. Before I ran for a legislature in 2023, and I never ran for anything in my life, one of the things that I did, I went into the community in Far Rockaway, and I mentored 5th graders in that class. And I did it for 5 years. And I did it because I wanted them to see me. And I wanted them to understand that they could be me. I also started or co-founded a nonprofit, RVC Friends of MLK, to bring resources to a community that was marginalized. And that was before I contemplated running for office. So I think it's about showing up, hearing, listening, and making an effort to deliver. Thank you. Oh, sure.
You can absolutely answer that question. As the way you jumped up and came running down here, how could I say no?
Thank you. Sorry, my babysitter has to go home soon, so I have to be quick.
Pay
But
her
everyone,
overtime.
this has been a pleasure to speak with you tonight. I think that's a great question. We have to do more to support our minority women businesses and other small business enterprises. This is a very important election because not only do we have the county, all county legislative seats, but also the town of Hempstead supervisor. And that position is an economic engine when it comes to our businesses. That position determines what homes get permits, what businesses get variances. It is a very important position. So I'm asking you please to come out to vote. It's very important. It's about, like Jennifer would tell me, a man is supposed to provide, fix, and protect. And as a legislator, that's what I'm going to continue doing for my residents in Nassau County. And I say all of Nassau County. When someone calls my office, I don't ask them what district they live in. I just help them. And I thank God that I've put that karma in the universe because now I'm walking doors in Lakeview and people remember me. I'm asking everyone to please come out to vote, have a voting plan. Early voting starts early. We need to take advantage of early voting. If we don't, they will take that away from us.
Perfect timing.
You understand? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good night. You can give a handshake.
Thank you very much.
If I may. So I just want to say one thing really quickly before I get into my answer. I don't believe in voting any way, all the way. I ask that you take the time to learn about each candidate and vote for the person who you believe can represent you the best. Otherwise, you throw away your vote and people end up taking you for granted or using you as a token or a pawn. Now, to answer the question, this partnership here, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We have community institutions that have been serving the community for decades, and we just have to know who those leaders are and engage those leaders and meet the people where they are. We have a room full of stakeholders here. We have a room full of partners here who are engaging us in civic engagement. So I would go to those partners, and I would listen and understand most of the primary issues like workforce housing, affordability of housing, I already know because I've been doing this for a while. And so I wouldn't reinvent the wheel. I'll just go to our partners as they exist.
So to answer your question, how do we engage the young people with regards to policies and what's happening in their communities? So some of the work that I have done is run internship programs, as well as I mentioned the Yes We Can Community Center. One of the programs that I started was working with our youth that were already working at the community center, getting them civically engaged, but also hearing from them what they wanted and needed for their own future, and then using that model to shape the programs that we were offering, not only to the other residents, but for them. And what that teaches them is that their voice matters. And so once you teach someone that their voice matters and you give them confidence to be in the room, they have more confidence to be in the room and make decisions.
You know what, I'm going to give her a couple of more seconds only because I should probably, it's such a long question, I should probably repeat it for each person that's coming up. So what we'll say is, I want to just make sure, no, yours was fine. I know we really don't have the time, but I just want to make sure. What steps will you make in your role to make sure Black and minority residents have a real voice in policy decisions that affect their daily lives, not just during election time, but year-round? So I just didn't want you to answer a question that was not.
Right, so doing exactly what I said year-round, because it's a program, it was instituted in one place, but it's something that can be carried into other places. Internships are very important because how else are the people going to get experience? And so when they're in the rooms, they can see how policy works. They can get confidence to be able to speak about their own ideas and effectuate those things.
Thank you.
I would say education is extremely important. teaching our young children from now, letting them know that their voices should be heard and how to get informed about the different challenges that their communities are facing is important. And having this generation, this current voting generation, our elderly generation, giving back to those younger people. Education is key. When you don't know something, you won't ask something. And just having those different forums once a month, every month, even just at barbecues or kickbacks or whatever the case is, making politics or making these issues something that is normal to talk about at the dinner table these days. I know we don't have dinner tables anymore, we just have phones and freezer food, but making sure that these conversations are continued to be had every day, if it's possible, but education is key. If you don't know how to ask something, if you don't know of something, you won't ask about it, so.
Thank you.
So as I mentioned before, I have committed my entire adult life to community service. The role that I have as a member of a school board that serves a district of primarily Black and brown students is a demonstration to how I am committed to serving our community and continuing serving our community, as well as both the advocacy roles and community service roles that I constantly work in on a regular basis. I am also a professor of English at Nassau Community College, and through that role, I have also served our community, and I really, really listen to and pay attention to my students, their needs, the needs of the greater community, and I will continue to do that as your next county clerk, and including making the office more accessible and more welcoming to Black and brown communities and communities of color throughout our county, because we deserve better. We deserve to be treated with dignity, respect, thoughtfulness, kindness, and consideration. And as a matter of course, I will make sure that happens.
Thank you so very much.
So to start, thank you. So to start, I think Black, I act Black on a regular basis, every day. That's my focus. I start there because I know if I can uplift the Black community, the whole community at large is lifted. And that's been the history of our civilization, our understanding on this United States of America. So I know if I go in thinking and acting in the best interest of Black people, everybody else gets to benefit just as well. But I want to make sure I carve out for my people, and I say me, thinking, and I am Black. So I bring all my values as a Black man and as a Black husband, Black coach, Ivy League graduate, and all that other stuff to bear. So that's the simple answer.
Kadeem, thank you.
So I served on the board of the Malls Association, which is the Southeast Merchants Association of Queens. And I think one of the biggest things is us not knowing the resources that are actually out there for us. There's a bunch of different grants that Nassau County offers. There's so many resources out there. So I think the biggest thing is putting those resources in a central location where somebody can go on and kind of see exactly what there is to offer, whether you have your own business, whether you're just looking for a job, and also making sure like the kids are getting taken care of making sure there's opportunity inside Nassau County so they don't have to leave the county to kind of get these jobs.
Thank you.
So, opportunity as far as the town of Hempstead is concerned, since that's what I'm running for. The town of Hempstead has many different programs. Hempstead Works is one of them. We have to make sure that our kids are fully aware of all the programs available under Hempstead Works. Number two, Hempstead Works, not just Hempstead Works, the town of Hempstead has an apprenticeship program that any company doing $250,000 of business with the town ought to have an apprenticeship program in place. I want to make sure that every company participating in a contract with the town of Hempstead is complying with that apprenticeship requirement. This is what it looks like when you've prepared for a town of Hempstead council position. The fact of the matter is there's a lot of programs already here that we are being denied because we don't have the knowledge of those programs. One, spread the knowledge, and two, make sure that everyone is holding up their end of the bargain for the money that they're taking from us.
Thank you so much.
I'm still here. I'm still here. And what I do every day in my life, that's what I'm going to do as your next town clerk. Bring resources to people. You're not going to see me when it's time for an election, because as your town clerk, I'm going to make sure that you are in the room. You have the tools, the skills that you need to learn how to fish, because we don't have a fish to give you. You know, if it's up to the Republicans, but we're going to teach you. I'm going to give you the skills, the tools that you need. So that means meeting with you. That means being in that room with you, teaching you how to fish. And my job, what I'm going to do is teaching you how to do contract work. What is it that you need to put together to get those same contracts that people are giving to their friends? So I want to be that person that teaches you how to fish. That door will always be open to you, not just when it's election time. And as the Haitians say, if the head is rotten, that means of the fish, the entire body is. That's why you need to vote row A all the way.
Thank you so very much. Now, we just want to say that October 25th is Saturday. Saturday is the first day of early voting. It is also the last day, if you are not registered, or if you know someone who is not registered, that they can go to an early voting site. They can register by filling out the affidavit ballot and be able to cast their ballot. If you go directly to the Board of Elections, whether you live in Nassau or Suffolk County, you can do that as well. Please make sure you avail yourselves to that. But more importantly, those people that are homebound, you still have that opportunity to be a proxy for them and get them a ballot, an absentee ballot. Go to the portal. Those are just a few voting tips that I did not want to leave here without giving you. Thank you so very much. On behalf of all stakeholders,
Can I thank you?
you can thank me.
Okay. We're going to close out. Thank you all for staying, because I know you could be home right now and you're probably hungry, and we appreciate it. Two things. We're going to have our president close us out, and also the good Reverend Dr. Easley. I want to thank the candidates for coming, and many of you gave us questions. So what we will do is send emails out to the candidates, because some of them weren't here, with questions, and we will find a way. If you sign up in the back for our evaluation and sign up, we can then send the responses out to those of you who have, we will share it with everyone, okay? And now I'll pass it on to.
So we heard a lot of information tonight. Let's give it up for our candidates one more time. We could do better than that. It's 9 p.m., y'all, and they're here with us. We say thank you. I want to drop this gem with you, because as we are here sitting in this place, President John F. Kennedy once said, "The ignorance of one voter impairs the security of everyone in a democracy." And if we are not seeing that in this time, federally, locally, this is a moment. And, you know, I was at a sorority event, and they said this is our 1913 moment, and we are in 2025. It's sad. And so we are in the room. My call to action is that you knock on your neighbor's door, you knock on your neighbor's door, you knock on their neighbor's door, because we all have to get to the polls, now more than ever. I would be remiss, I think when I was saying all the partners, I didn't even shout out my own church, Second Baptist Church of Baldwin, my pastor, Reverend G. Maurice McCrae Jr., because tonight is a Wednesday night and it's Bible study night, and my pastor is here with me. So if I don't say nothing else to my pastor, I can't show up to church on Sunday morning. But also to the angel of this house for opening up the doors. Whenever Delta Sigma Theta knocks, you answer. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. I think you are sometimes our voice when we can't say some of the things that we can't say, so we say thank you. And to our illustrious moderators, you had a tough job. And you did it so eloquently with grace and style, and we say thank you. And I am going to decrease and let Pastor Easley increase so that we can exit. But please, take your trash. We are guests in this space. We don't want to see a chip bag, a water bottle, a piece of paper. Please take it with you. Thank you.
We want to take this opportunity to say thank you so very much to all of you who participated, certainly to those who are running for elected office. We are grateful and thankful. On Sunday, we'll be celebrating 103 years of Union Baptist Church's existence. Birthed out of the freedom struggle, even here in Hempstead. We're living in some strange times. And I want to say to those of you who are here tonight, our responsibility, because the reality is the people that come to these events are usually voters. Mostly all of y'all are voters or registered voters, the majority, right? Our job is to tell somebody else to go to the polls and vote. I also want to say to you, let's not take our vote for granted, right? And I want to say to those of you who are elected, don't take us for granted. And it's not just about winning. It's about being held accountable once you win. And so tonight, I'm grateful that this church was able to open up our doors for this. But we're on the front lines even when election season is over. If this is the only time you are civically engaged, you need to go and check yourself. Because we are in the fight for our lives. Come on, the last 10 months has seemed like 10 years. And so we are in the fight for our lives, not just in the time of election season. And so let us go to the polls and vote. There's so many questions that we could have asked tonight. It was so many, and I'm just grateful to see so many of them here tonight, just being here tonight. We do know that the county, really quick, that the county executive, they had debate tonight, right? And so they're not here tonight. You can take that any kind of way you want to take it, amen? But they're not here tonight. But let us be informed. Please be informed, and please go out to the polls and vote. I want to thank my good friend and brother, Pastor McCray, who is here tonight, my good friend and brother, for those of us who are trying to lead the charge to get people to the polls. May God bless you. Let us, please do me one favor, clean it up all around you, amen. And certainly let me just say this, to the brothers of the best fraternity of this side of heaven, amen. I got the microphone, I'm so sorry. Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And I see some of my Q brothers who's members of our church, and they're going to just get me on Sunday. But to all of the D9 family, amen. Can y'all put your hands together to all of the D9 family who's here tonight? Certainly to the Sisters of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Certainly grateful to work with you all, certainly again this year. We've been working together for many years, amen, and so I'm grateful, and certainly to the social justice ministry of our church, to everybody. It's a late night, let us go home. Dear God, we thank you for this time that we have shared. Be with us as we travel home. In your name we do pray, amen. Amen. Go in peace, everybody. Picture.
May all partners who are still here come to the front so that we can get a picture with you, please.